Most of you gremlins wanted Artificer to be the next class I roast for this series, but you need to get a few things in your head. 1. Artificer is the least popular class in D&D. And that's totally not just because it's the newest one to be released or anything. No, it has to be because people don't like it, and you can't convince me otherwise. And 2, I'm a YouTuber. And you know us tubers are always on the hunt for growing our channels and massive egos. So, in order to do that, I need to start with the classes that people actually find interesting. Anyway, that's the reason why I'm skipping over Bard for now and doing Cleric instead. But before that, this video series is bringing in a lot of newbies to D&D, and boy do I have the product for you. Ghostfire Gaming's newest project, Fables, is an episodic adventure you can take your players through. With Fables, you get a full episode containing the story, custom tokens, maps, and handouts over the course of 6 months, all part of a complete adventure. The first Fable takes place in a world of eternal night where vampires rule the land. The party's souls spark with sunlight, a resource craved by a power-hungry lich. Early subscribers get the best deals, so what are you waiting for? Check out the website using the link down below, and with that said, let's get right back to the video. Clerics are forces of godly might that physically can't stop winning. If you somehow got your cleric in trouble, it was because you willingly made them jump off of a cliff, had them fight the endgame boss at level 1, or angered the DM because you kept cheesing through all of their encounters. As a follower of the gods, your job is to carry out all of the activities that whoever you worship is too lazy to do themselves. In return, they'll give you a scoop of ice cream filled with unlimited power! Based on whatever flavor of deity you follow. Right at level 1, you have healing so potent that some party members can be restored to full health with a single spell. If an enemy stabs one of your allies unconscious, just slap him with healing magic. It's even more ridiculous when they're the next person to take their turn. Don't think you're limited to just being a heal bot though. The same magic that can give life can also end it. You have absurdly strong spells like the floating ghost sword that can Beyblade spin kill everything you look at, a touch of death that fast travels your enemies straight to their graves, and the best spammable cantrips in the game, forcing your god to answer Discord pings of you asking for magic every minute. I bet you've been wondering why I've been ranting on about how strong clerics are, because if you recall, this video is why you shouldn't play the class. Well, it's just because they're too powerful. You can test the faith in God because they're literally on your side. Nothing becomes a challenge anymore. For some D&D campaigns I saw people hosting, dungeon masters were specifically banning cleric from their table because they didn't want to deal with them trivializing everything. Other tables just have to nerf magical healing outright because people dying and reviving over and over again is a perfect example of bad game design. Even if your DM allows the class in their games and doesn't nerf healing, do you actually want any sort of challenge during the campaign? If so, then stay away from clerics with a 10-foot pole because we're not even done yet. Ring ring! Oh, your god's calling, and they want to dry scoop more divine magic down your throat. The Arcana domain gives you a spell for nearly any situation, and the ability to banish anyone you don't feel like dealing with right now. The Death domain lets you melt everyone who looks at you funny, turning the best necromancy spells into nuclear warheads. Forge domain lets you play Minecraft, enchanting magical weapons and crafting gear just by praying. Knowledge domain gives you a big brain, and lets you break into other people's weak, unprotected brains. Life clerics for people who want to play on autopilot, causing explosions of healing everywhere like it's a baby's gender reveal party. Light domain is all about scorching the corneas of your enemies and... wait. Corona of Light? Nature Domain gives you full control over animals and plants without their consent. Order Domain gives you full control over humans without their consent. Peace Domain lets you become that one meme where a soldier is getting war crimed. Tempest Domain turns you into a bathtub toaster. Trickery Domain makes fleeing from combat viable. Twilight Domain gives you a big ball that grants magical armor, provides cover, breaks magical spells, does the dishes, and hangs the laundry. And War Domain lets you kill people even if they have 3 suits of armor on while hiding behind a brick wall. And with that, we've gone over everything that clerics can get at level 1. What, you thought this was over? No, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Undead also quiver at your holy power. Just hold your cross up into the air and scream at the top of your lungs to scare off all the bone people. Later on, all that screaming might wake up your deity, forcing them to see what all the noise is about. If you roll a certain number on a dice, then there's a chance they'll barge in just to make you stop. Yes, you can get your deity to appear. It's the ultimate, I'm gonna get my dad to beat up your dad moment. In case for some reason you still don't feel strong enough, clerics can also change nearly their entire playstyle whenever they take a nap. If you've ever played a MOBA, then you know how important countering your opponent is. Just find out what the big bad evil guy's weaknesses are, and come back a day later having every magical spell tuned with bullying them in mind. If the principals over at Wizards of the Coast won't do anything about their school being overrun by religious zealots, then you might as well take advantage. So to summarize, don't play cleric. They're too powerful for their own good, and everyone at the table is gonna get mad when they realize your character is the only one that matters. With spells that have damage scalings like the slopes of Mount Everest, abilities that lack any downsides or counterplay, and the obscene amounts of power you get just by thinking about the class, you're better off playing anything else. That, or maybe you're sick of your characters dying all the time and just want to live out your anime power fantasy. In which case, go right ahead. Grab your harem of player characters together and show them why you're the main protagonist of this campaign. Don't get your hopes up that every video in this series is going to be this optimistic. Clerics are just way too good, and I'd be a fat liar if I tried to play it off any other way. Anyway, subscribe to stay notified when new videos of this series are posted, like the video if you want it to continue, and I'll see you all next time.